the obvious question everyone wants to know, can you just walk us through last Saturday? Like, when was the last test you took that came up positive?
Uh, was it the Friday? That Friday before, yeah, that Friday that we had to take the test, and I took another one Saturday morning that also came back positive too. But I think when I knew there was a possibility of that happening just because of the whole COVID, I guess range where you can have COVID. Some people have it, a few weeks. Some people have it several months. So I knew there was a possibility of that happening. But um, took a test this past weekend, came back negative. Took another one when I got here, and it came back negative too. So pretty pleased. Plus last week, last week, did my antibodies, and that came back positive, which is a good thing. I mean, I can't transmit any COVID.
I mean, look, fight week is stressful enough. You were going back down to 205 and making the weight again. I mean, can you just talk about that added feeling? I'd be stressed like crazy thinking that could happen. I mean, what was it like for you?
I mean, that's the thing. Is just like I wasn't too stressed about it or whatnot. Things happen. Things go. It's out of my control. The thing about it is, being stressed out. For me, being stressed out is me trying to figure out a way to deal with something. Me trying to figure out to make it benefit me, and I don't need to worry about that. That's me trying to control the situation. The last thing I want to try to control something I have no control over. So my whole attitude is mainly that of effort. So whatever happens, happens. If I fight, I fight. If I don't, I don't. I know I'm eventually going to fight. Still in good shape. Weight cut was easy. This weight cut is going fantastic. So that was my whole mentality. Just effort. Whatever happens, happens.
Can I ask, how have your tests been looking this week?
Been looking great actually. So I got one more on Friday, and my mentality is that of I got through Tuesday, Friday come around, which is tomorrow, and take my test. Wait till Saturday morning. If I get a phone call, that mean I know what that means. If I don't get a phone call, I'm good to go. So either way, my mentality is still going to be that of effort.
I mean, you're a big athlete for 205. Is there any struggle with making that weight twice in 1 week?
Well, it's not 1 week, it's 2 weeks. So they wanted me to fight last weekend. I was like, nah, that's not going to happen just because typically, the fight was Saturday. I done the carb load, had my sodiums back in me. And typically around that time is when I'm water loading. And I was like, no, you're going to have to give me another week or we can do a catch fight. But you know, they set it off for 2 more weeks after that, which is perfect. But other than that, man, like it's crazy because I actually, I actually like my best fights that I've had is when I came in, you know, at like a 15-pound weight cut or a 14-pound weight cut, which is easy for me instead of me coming in at a 25-pound weight cut. And when I come in at those 25-pound weight cut, I can feel the effects in a fight. So this time around, I made sure my weight stayed low. I think I was under 225 pretty much the whole month of August. And, the last few weeks, I was jumping back and forth between 221, 222. Even when I got here Tuesday, I was like right at 220. So that's 14 pounds. And now I only have 5 pounds to lose. And I'm not hurting at all.
Gotcha. I mean, my final question, obviously it's the same opponent. It has been too long. You get a couple extra days. Do you do anything in terms of, oh, well, let me watch more tape, let me drill more this? Or is it just, hey, you just kind of keep yourself in shape and you wait for for your rescheduled fight?
I mean, just it's not even keeping myself in shape. It's just maintaining. That's my biggest thing is maintaining. You still can throw a little bit of stuff in there because we had time to do that. But other than that, there's not much you can do. And to be quite honest, too, like even taking the fight, like you know, I was supposed to fight somebody else, and I woke up like on a Thursday, Thursday a week before my fight, saying, "Hey, you got you fighting Alonzo Menifield," and I was like, "All right, cool." So I've done it before. I've taken fights on short notice before. It worked out for me. Sometimes it didn't work out for me. But other than that, there's not much to do. My trainer understands too. Like I'm pretty well rounded everywhere I go. whether it's my stand up, the wrestling, or the grappling aspect about it. And he knows like I can adapt to situations extremely fast. So that helps out tremendously for him to let me know, be like, okay, we have a specific game plan, but I'm gonna let you freestyle this one yourself.
Gotcha. Hey, thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Our next question is from Jay Anderson with Gateside Press.
Hey, Ovince, welcome back. A couple of quick ones just to follow up. When it comes to COVID, we heard that you had previously contracted it. Your management company mentioned that. Do you have any idea how you actually caught it, who you caught it from?
Man, not necessarily. I really don't. I mean, to be honest, too, man, it's just like I tell people, you can't play it safe in a fight game. You can't, just because you're gonna have to be around people. If you got a fight coming up, either you're gonna tiptoe on eggshells and try to play it safe and be like, oh, I don't want to catch COVID, or you're just gonna be out there. Again, my mentality was that of F it, just because. And at the end of the day, the way it's looking like, there's gonna be a point in time when everybody get it. I was telling myself 2 months ago, like I wanted to have it in my system 2 months ago just to get it out of the way, just because, like it just everything that you do, you have to tiptoe. You have to tiptoe. So my mentality was, I'm not doing that just because I want to get the best out of my performance, especially when you know you got to have a fight. You're getting ready for a fight. You don't want to go in there. You don't want to go into training camp like kind of half-assed and everything. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go in full tilt. I was still working out. I was doing everything. I made sure I took precautions and whatnot. But other than that, when I was in the gym, there's no taking precautions in the gym. It's almost impossible to do that.
You know, you're an athlete, you're obviously in optimal shape, so you're probably pretty low risk in terms of the impact. But how hard is it to keep your focus on an opponent and on training when in the back of your mind you're going like, man, I've also got to fight off a serious disease?
I mean, I didn't think about it at all because I didn't know I had it. I didn't have any symptoms at all. I think the only symptoms I had was like, I right when I was actually like typically when I end up changing my diet to like make sure I'm eating clean, pretty much everything clean. My body started going to changes. I think I had a fever like 101, and I woke up like at 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up, at 8 o'clock, and it was like 97. And then after that, I hopped on my mountain bike, went for an hour and a half ride at a at Baker's Creek in Knoxville. And from there, I turned around and had a 4.5 mile run that night. And I was like, man, I feel great. So, I didn't even know I had it until like, my trainer's wife was going in. She was like, well, I've been around my family. I'm just going to go get tested. And I was like, you know what? Last time I got tested was in Jacksonville. Let me go get tested. And, it came back positive. I didn't have any symptoms at all. So it's different. Like, do I believe all the hype about COVID? I do. One of my fraternity brothers got it, and he was in the emergency room. But he said he was in the hospital for 3 days. But and I had it, and I was perfectly fine. So I don't know.
Well, glad to hear that you've gotten past it. Glad to hear that he's out of the emergency room. Want to go on a different track and ask you about something else. You were at heavyweight for your last fight. It looks like Jon Jones is going to be fighting at heavyweight moving forward. That's a guy that you shared the cage with. How do you think he fares up there?
Um, he should do good, man. A lot of the heavyweights, if he does what he does, like John got a good thing of luring people into the fourth and fifth round and kind of worrying about that way. But he got a lot of tools that he can actually, you know, he switches stance, confuse heavyweight. His wrestling is going to be good within heavyweight. His reach is going to be, bigger than a lot of the heavyweights. But the only thing he really got to watch out for is, the power of the heavyweights and the weight of the heavyweights too, because a lot of times it's good, but moving a heavyweight is completely moving a guy that's 205. Because you're weighing at 205, the next day you're 220, 225. And my heavyweight I fought when I fought Ben Rothwell, he was at 265, and the next day I'm thinking he was 15, 20 pounds heavier. It becomes a little difficult trying to move a weight like that. That's the only thing. Is just like, if he can prepare himself for that, I think he'll be really good at heavyweight.
Does his absence from the 205-pound division kind of renew the fire in you? Because the only two people who have held the 205-pound belt for years are Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier. Now one's retired and one's moving up. It really feels like a brand new ball game.
I mean, it does, but the thing about the fight game is either a champ's going to vacate his title, or everybody is going to end up changing throughout the years and whatnot. The 205 division is one of the division that didn't change a lot at all, and it does a lot of fire in me. It didn't. My thing is, I'm doing the same thing I always kept on doing, one fight at a time until I get to that number one spot.
And last one for me, obviously the title fight is booked. Jan Blachowicz and Dominic Reyes. Who do you see walking away with the belt?
It's hard, man, because Jan Blachowicz has a good right hand, but Dominique, he's a really good counter fighter, and he stays on his wheels a lot. So, I think I might have Dominic Reyes, edging this out.